Hello, it's Juan Fuentes, and this is the presentation that I've prepared for the final project of the subject Aprendizaje Integrado de Contenidos en Lengua Extranjera. The subject of my unit is technology. The course is third grade of ESO, and the title is Electric Circuits. The main goal of my teaching proposal is to develop an interdisciplinary environment where the learning of language and the learning of science and technology merge together. In particular, the students will learn to investigate about electrical circuits, and so they will learn specific contents of this topic and the corresponding involved skills. Moreover, the students will be immersed in the corresponding specific vocabulary, expressions, and structures that are related to this technology topic. That is, a clear environment focused on content, language, and learning abilities. This unit is planned for third grade of ESO in a technology class in a public secondary school in Lleida, and there are 24 students in the classroom, 9 girls and 15 boys, and they are between 14 and 15 years old. The level of English of the students is between A2 and B1. This unit will provide new opportunities for the students to develop the following competencies: linguistic communication competence, mathematical competence, basic competence in science and technology, learning to learn, and social and civic competence. As I've said before, there are three main pillars in a CLIL project: content, language, and learning abilities. So let's go into detail with these three main aspects. The subject objectives are the following ones: to recognize the different elements of an electric circuit and their functionality, to differentiate the electrical magnitudes of a circuit, to use the Ohm's law to relation the electrical magnitudes in a resistor, to differentiate between series and parallel circuits, to use a multimeter correctly to carry out different types of measurements. The linguistic objectives of the unit are the following ones: to use correct vocabulary and symbols to communicate technical ideas and solutions related to electricity and electric circuits. Vocabulary related to electricity and electric circuits, how to describe electric circuits, use of common expressions, present and past tenses, comparatives, and well, in general, developing the four language skills. This is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And finally, the learning strategies objectives are the following ones: access to prior knowledge, apply strategies in order to organize, acquire, remember, and use language in an autonomous manner, develop strategies for reading and understanding a text, collaborate cooperatively to develop a project, take part in self-evaluation and self-correction, correction strategies, and active participation in group work and activities. All these objectives will be achieved with the following methodology. In this unit, we are going to apply a clear methodology focused on a triple axis: language competence, area content, and learning abilities. It looks for a safe and enriching learning environment where students are not afraid to speak or participate. It will be an active learning where students will participate, collaborate, exchange, and build ideas and manage their own work and time when doing the activities. The 4Cs framework developed by AICOLE is the main key for planning this lesson and materials. For this lesson to be successful, I've taken into consideration the following four elements: content, communication, cognition, and culture. This unit will be also an opportunity for the students to work under an inquiry-based environment. That means that the students will be immersed in a work cycle where they will develop a wide range of skills such as observation, hypothesizing, planning, collecting data and collecting evidences, interpreting this information, and build explanations that they will communicate to their peers. This unit is planned to be performed in 7 sessions. In session 1, we introduce the topic, which is electricity and electric circuits, and elicits the preliminary ideas that the students have about the topic. This session will be a first approach to the specific vocabulary, keywords, and structures that the students will need through the unit. In session 2, the students will review and go into more detail about electrical circuits contents, and they will reinforce the useful language for this topic. Sessions 3 and 4 correspond to the inquiry activities. Using a student-centered approach, they will try to solve real problems about electrical circuits. The pupils will use sessions 5 and 6 to reflect the ideas collected from their inquiries. They will prepare explanations and a model about the main phenomena of electrical circuits. All this knowledge has to be translated into a multimedia presentation by the students. And well, finally, in session number 7, they will expose their presentations to their classmates. Briefly, I will describe the development of the activities. They start with an introduction about general concepts of electrical circuits, such as the particles of an atom, the role of electrons as negative charges, and their importance in electricity. Thus, apart from the scientific knowledge, students will be introduced into daily life situations where electricity participates. Working with these first activities, on one hand, students can be motivated about quotidian technological topics, and well, on the other hand, they will have the first contact with keywords, specific vocabulary, and structure. Uh, right. And next, I will provide new activities with a higher difficulty level that they will be that will be useful to reinforce the context and the language skills. For instance, I will provide readings, videos, and worksheets where they will have to answer questions related to the topic. All of these activities are intended to work the four language skills. And this is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Once the students know some concepts and they can start using the appropriate language, I will introduce them some inquiry activities to work on a virtual laboratory where they will be able to build electric circuits and investigate about their function. Although these activities are student-centered, the teacher role is very important. The teacher will act as a guide during these activities and will provide different scaffoldings to help students to carry out their investigations. For instance, questions, prompts, hints are some helps that can be used to orchestrate the inquiry process. In particular, students will investigate all the Ohm's law, series and parallel circuits, and they will learn to perform measurements with the appropriate instrumentation. So students will collect data, evidences, they will organize this information and translate it into words, tables, and graphics. Okay. Since it's a group inquiry project, it is important to not forget that collaboration and dialogue are two skills that students need to carry out in these activities. The teacher will check the use of correct language during the conversations and will provide positive feedback when needed. After the investigation work, students will have a space to think in groups about the obtained results. It is time to reflect on the collected data to generate explanation. Looking for patterns and relationships will help them to interpret the results and build ideas and explanations about electrical circuits. Next, they have to plan a multimedia presentation with all the evidences and knowledge that they have acquired. Not only have they to think carefully about the technological content, but also they should take care of the language used, both in the slides and the corresponding speech. Because finally, they will expose their presentation to the class, and well, they have to take care of the pronunciation, intonation, and the rhythm of the speech. The unit will be assessed following four main aspects, which are the following ones: the content evidences collected during the activities done in class, the language evidences also taken during the classes, the attitude, effort, and participation in the class tasks, and the project and the presentation of the project. Here I show one example of an evaluation instrument. It is a Rabbit, and well, it has been obtained from the literature, but I will use it to assess the project and its presentation. Well, that is all. Thank you very much. Please feel free to contact me if you have any doubt about the unit or any suggestion. Okay, well, that's all. Bye.